Hello plant tribe, and happy holiday season, happy Christmas season, happy whatever it is that you celebrate in this time season. So this is the kickoff. This is the start of my Vlogmas. This is December 1st. This is where it all begins. So I feel like, Vlogmas to me, being completely new and not having any idea what it actually is. So when I think vlog, I think of, you know, just doing something, talking through it and whatever. But I've kind of just decided that I'm going to do something semi-holiday related for the majority of my videos. I hope that's okay. I hope that's something that you guys will enjoy. And today I'm kicking it off with everybody's favorite holiday flower, the poinsettia. So I have some information for you, kind of where it came from, and the care for the plant, and how you can get your plant to last from now until next Christmas, which is super exciting. Because I don't know about you guys, I'm sure you guys can relate. I always feel bad tossing them at the end of the season. Here's the cool part. We don't have to. We can keep them. Isn't that cool? Okay, so if that sounds like something that you would like to hear, then stick around and let's talk about it. Okay, I'm really hoping that the camera is focusing in on my face. I record on my phone and it tends to focus in on whatever's in the foreground, even though I tapped my face, so we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so for those of you who are new to my channel, I welcome you with open arms. What a great time for you to be a part of my plant tribe when I am doing this crazy Vlogmas. So you're gonna get a lot of content thrown at you, and I really hope that you enjoy it. For those of you who've been around for a while, welcome back. It is lovely to see you as always. So, the poinsettia. So as you can see here, I have surrounded myself with some gorgeous, gorgeous varieties. So I think I'm just gonna kick this off with showing you the plants that I do have, and then we'll just kind of get into some chat about the plant itself and its care and so forth. So the first one that I have here is your typical, when you think of a poinsettia, you know, kind of what that looks like. So this is your red variety with the gorgeous, look at that. It looks fake. It's not, I assure you. It's gorgeous and beautiful. Anyways, so we have the red one. Of course, you guys know that I have my red one up here. We also have a pink one, which is beautiful. Depends on what your color scheme is. I kind of just got like one of everything I could find because I like them. Here we have the white variety, which is more of like a yellow. And this is the coolest one. I'm just gonna move these back in case I drop them, because that's really likely. So look at this. Stunner. Oh boy. Look at that. Oh. Oh my. So you can get poinsettias in all kinds of different colors. Yeah, let me just set that back up so you can see how pretty it is. I don't even know how I had it. Good enough. Okay. So you can get them in all kinds of different colors. They have like new, I guess you call them cultivars, every Christmas. There was one in particular that I was really looking for this year, and it was the red variety. And they have like, kind of like white speckles. Like it almost looks like snow or like a red starry night. They're really, really pretty, but unfortunately I couldn't find one. But I did find this guy, which I am totally happy with. He is beautiful. Okay, so poinsettias are actually indigenous to Mexico, which I didn't know until I did some reading. I thought that was a really, really neat little fun fact. Also, fun fact, so they actually bloom when you look at freaking braces. Oh my God. When you look at a poinsettia, a lot of us consider, like, because it's colorful, we go, oh, that's a flower. It's actually the leaves. So the flowers actually emerge right here. So those are the little buds, and that's what will flower. So in December in Mexico, these grow out in the wild in the mountains. And so when they start to bloom and turn into this beautiful crimson or red color, you can just kind of see them along the mountainsides. And these plants, and this is something that I didn't know either, and this kind of blew my mind. So poinsettias can get 10 to 16 feet tall. Holy crap. Can you imagine what that looks like? This massive poinsettia, that'd be gorgeous. They will get like a sizable size in your home, but not like I'm talking maybe 3 feet, 4 feet. It depends on how good you take care of them, but year over year, if you take care of them throughout the spring and summer, they will come back the next season. You kind of pinch them off and stuff like that to get them to branch out. We'll kind of get into some of that stuff to make them get bigger and branch out, but they will continue to grow and continue to get bigger for you year after year, which I think is so cool. So that is actually my challenge. Before this year, I'd never really had any interest in trying to over summer the poinsettias. And so this year, I think I'm going to try to do that. They are a little high maintenance to do. And again, I will get into why that is in a few minutes, but I think I'm going to try it because I think it would be worth it to see all of these come back next year just bigger and bushier and better than they were this year. Okay, so moving along. So poinsettias were originally introduced to America in 1825 by a gentleman named Joel Poinsett, who actually was the first U.S. ambassador to Mexico. That's basically all the facts that I have on this plant. So now let's get into some care tips. Okay, so we're gonna start with what to look for when you're buying a poinsettia. So when you go to your nursery, or I know a lot of grocery stores carry them, some of the things you want to look for. So the first thing you want to look for is nice, dark, dense green foliage around the bottom of the plant. Something that has nice coloring. You don't want to look for, or just kind of make sure you kind of weed out the ones that have any like discolored leaves or yellowing or pock marks at all. And make sure that it's nice and full, like this. The second thing that you want to look for is tightly clustered buds. So when you get a plant, you've already established that it has lots of nice dense green foliage. The buds, if there's a whole lot of them, it will last you longer. The plant will continue to survive as long as it's blooming. So once the buds or the flowers kind of start to close up, at that point the leaves will start to wither, and then we'll get there. We'll get there. Jumping a little bit ahead of myself. Okay. So the next thing that you want to look for is these small leaves. I don't know if you can see that there. These little leaves around here, you want to make sure that those are nicely colored. So they have, no, you can't see that one as well. A lot of coloring to them. If you get one that is a little bit more green or faded at all, your color won't last as long. It will start to fade back to green. So if the buds in the center, so again, the little flower buds, hiccup. If the buds in the center have started to fall off or started to lose their pollen, the plant isn't a fresh plant. It's been around for a little while. You're gonna get it home, and the likelihood of it lasting any more than a few days is not great. So try to avoid that. obviously, kind of like I said before, avoid anything with yellowing leaves, discolored leaves, patches, anything like that. And obviously, as always, make sure you flip that sucker upside down, check the underside of the leaves, make sure you look really well. I know some people actually carry around a small magnifying glass when you go grocery shopping, plant shopping. It's kind of handy to keep one in your purse because you never know when you're going to stop and look at plants, right? But those are really, really handy because some bugs are so small that you can't see them. So it's kind of handy. You might look like a weirdo, but you know what? Trust me when I say you don't want to bring home an infestation like I did. We live and we learn, folks. We live and we learn. Okay, so moving on. So let's get into some care tips. So as far as light is concerned, so they take a minimum of 6 hours of bright indirect light. I know we hear that term a lot. Basically, you want a nice amount of light because it will keep the color nice. But you don't want anything direct because it will actually just fade the plant out and make it super crispy. As far as temperature, they prefer temperatures between 65 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is about 18 to 21 degrees Celsius. At nighttime, they like to dip down a little lower, so between 60 to 65. So those cooler temperatures at night is actually what keeps the color nice and vibrant, and red or pink or, you know, whatever. As far as watering is concerned, they prefer moist soil, not damp soil. So you want to let them mostly dry out, not like critically dry. If you stick your finger in there and it's like dry, you need to get some water on that stat because it's it's not going to take that for long. They don't like dry soil. My apologies. Again, with most tropical plants, and poinsettias are tropical plants. I know we don't really think of them because we kind of associate them with wintertime and Christmas and that kind of thing, but they are a tropical plant. Again, they come from Mexico and it's warm there and it's tropical and obvi. So anyways, like most tropical plants, they don't like to have wet feet, so make sure that you have them in a pot with drainage. Most times when you buy one, they'll come in these little foils. Newsflash, they don't have drainage in the foils. They just sit inside the foils here. So if you're keeping them in your little foil fancy container there, just make sure that after you watch it, oh my goodness, after you water it, give it a few minutes and then take that foil off, dump it, and then put the plant back in. You don't want it sitting in water. Overwatering is actually one of the main killers of poinsettias at this time of year. You know, a lot of people will bring poinsettias in their home for decoration and stuff like that, not really knowing how to take care of a plant. And I'm sure that you guys can relate. When you first start caring for plants, you over care for plants. You just constantly want to water it and make sure that it's got water, but that will kill your poinsettia quickly, as in most plants, but these especially. So if you run into things like wilting, and the leaves are starting to they kind of curl back like this. So it's either overwatering or underwatering by a substantial amount. And you'll be able to know the difference. If you water it like every 2 days, chances are pretty good it's overwatered. So at that point, you want to get it out of the soil and get it into some nice light soil. So something with a lot of like coco coir, some perlite, and some peat and that kind of thing. Just keep it really, really light. They don't like a really thick, dense soil. It's a technical term. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how to keep your plant all year long. So, after the holidays are over, probably starting around the end of December, you're gonna, maybe early January, you're gonna start to notice the buds, the little flowers are all going to fall off, the leaves are going to start to shrivel, and you'll be like, oh, these plants never last long, it's dying, and you're gonna chuck it. Hold on a second, don't chuck it, it isn't dead. So what happens between January and May is, so in January, like I said, things will start to shrivel up and fall off and it will look dead. It's not dead. So it goes into like a resting season for the rest of the winter and getting up to summertime. So what you want to do is prune the plant back to about 6 to 8 inches. I mean, depending on how big the plant is. So for this one, okay, so here's the soil. So you're gonna want to cut it back to about here. Oh, you can't see that. So about here, you know, get all of the leaves probably off of here. I would take those off. It conserves the plant's energy at that point, and they're all going to shrivel and die and fall off anyways. You're going to reduce the watering. You're still going to water it, but you want to wait until it gets 100% dry and then water it. Again, when you water it, the same thing as when you're watering in the growing season, let the water completely drain through and, you know, go from there. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are like, so what do I do with all these sticks, Nikki, once there's no leaves on them? Well, I mean, that's kind of one of the things that you just have to deal with. So you have a couple options as long as it's getting light, because yes, they still need light even when they are in the resting season. So you want to put it in a place that does get at least 6 hours of sunlight. What you choose to do with it or where you choose to put it is totally up to you. If you want to stick it somewhere it's not going to get seen a whole lot, you know, that's your thing. I don't know what to tell you. I haven't really figured out where I'm going to put mine yet once the resting season comes, but we'll get there, I guess. Maybe I'll do another video when they all start to go into the resting phase, and maybe I'll just show you how I take care of them at that point. So in summer, so you're looking May to September, they're going to start to kind of revitalize at that point. So you're going to repot them if necessary, because they are going to continue to grow. Check the roots. Once you start to see new growth, then you're going to start to fertilize. So that'll probably happen around the end of August, early September. Excuse me. Holy goodness. I chugged a whole bunch of water before I started. So, you want to use a well-balanced organic fertilizer is usually what is recommended. You also want to pinch back the stems, and that encourages more branching, so you're going to have more branches and it's going to look more full. So in the summer you can put it outside. That's completely and totally fine. You just want to make sure that you bring it back inside once the temperatures dip down and starting to get into the 50s. So once it hits like 58, 59, get the plant back inside. They cannot handle temperatures lower than that. They will freeze, they will die, and then you've wasted almost a year of your life on this plant. Okay. So in the fall, poinsettias, what actually triggers them to bloom and to start growing as beautiful as this is the shorter days. So what you want to do is actually put your poinsettia in a dark place. I mean, zero light. So whether that's a closet or a cupboard, or whether you want to cover it with a box, or put a black plastic garbage bag over them, but they have to have zero light in order for it to trigger new growth. So that's going to be about 8 to 10 weeks prior to the bloom time. So you're looking at maybe end of September, early October-ish. Yeah, around there. So just make sure that it gets complete total darkness for at least 12 hours. During the daytime, when you take it out, see, this is when I said it becomes a little more high maintenance. So you're gonna leave it in complete and total darkness for at the least 12 hours a day. And it needs at least 6 hours of bright and direct sunlight during the day. So it has those very drastic, you know, day and night cycle periods, and that's what's going to trigger the plant to bloom and to start to flesh out. You know? So at that point during the day, you feed it as normal. So the recommendation for poinsettias is to fertilize every 2 weeks. Again, ideally with an organic balanced fertilizer. And then, you know, once you get into late fall, so end of November, when of course you start to see all the poinsettias come out in the store, that's when you can kind of start into your full care routine, as we discussed earlier in the video. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I know that over summering these, and that sounds weird to say, over summering them can be a little high maintenance, but for a plant as gorgeous as that, if we can continue to get them to, you know, grow and flourish and get bigger year over year, like how rewarding would that be? I know I am really excited to try it. I'm always looking for a new challenge, so this is Nikki's poinsettia challenge, I guess. Oh, also, I do want to mention something. So poinsettias have this bad rap for being poisonous. Poinsettias are actually not poisonous. That's right. I said it. They're not poisonous. If you consume a large volume of leaves, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but if you did, you'd probably get like an upset stomach and you wouldn't feel the greatest, but it's not going to kill you. Same with pets. It's not going to kill them. It's not poisonous for pets. I mean, if you do get like leaves in their, not your mouth, I'm sure you're not going to gnaw on a poinsettia, but if your animal gets, you know, a leaf in the mouth, if they tend to chew, it's not going to kill them. You really want to rinse well with water because it will irritate a little bit, but it's not toxic and poisonous as we have all been told. I don't know how that started, but that's not a thing. The sap, however, so if you can see it, you see that white? So when I brought these home, my cat knocked the box off the chair that they were sitting in, and when the leaves bend or the stems break off, it has this white sap, and it almost looks like melted marshmallow, which is weird, but that's what it looks like. That stuff can be a little irritating to your skin. You definitely don't want to get it near your eyes, but I mean, that's true with a lot of stuff, right? And you know, the same thing when you get anything in your mouth that's not meant to be eaten, it's going to irritate. But rest assured, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to kill your pets. It may give them a little bit of an upset stomach, but that's it. So good news, all of you cat owners can go buy a poinsettia. Boy one. Or two. Boy 'em. Or 10. Whatever. Alright guys, I hope this first Vlogmas episode was great for you. I thought it was a really good way to kick it off. I know a lot of people are buying poinsettias at this time of year. They are everywhere in the stores, and so I thought this would be a good time and a good kickoff for my Vlogmas month. So if you liked the video, if you found it even slightly helpful, go ahead and give that a thumbs up. I hope that you will stick around and maybe consider subscribing, because that obviously, as I always say, is a huge help to the channel, and I definitely do appreciate it. Throw some comments down there. I know poinsettias are one of those things that you either like or you hate. Let me know. Do you like poinsettias? Which one of mine do you like the best? What's your favorite color? Do you like the pink ones or the red ones or the white ones or these gorgeous multicolored ones? Yeah, and that's pretty much all I have to yammer about. I'm going to say goodbye now, and then I have some footage of Wrecker's Garden Center in Bowmanville, and they let us in to take a look at their nursery out at the back of their store, and it was unbelievable. It just looked like fields of poinsettias. It was gorgeous. So I will insert that after this, but first I will say goodbye and thank you. I love you all to bitty bits. Here's a video. I love you. Mwah!